someone tell me if he's gay or not? Welcome back, everybody. It's Morgan from the very unofficial travel guides. It's another Sunday. It's a really beautiful Sunday here in Hamburg. It's been a long time since I've had a day off, and the weather's been like it is today. So I got up kind of early. I wanted to get this video done for you, and then I want to go out and enjoy this fantastic Sunday. Many of you know we had the G20 conference here in Hamburg this weekend. Some really crazy stuff happened, really unfortunate things, people destroying our city in protest, and I guess I don't want to talk about that anymore. I want to answer your questions. At the end of last week's Storytime Red Couch video, Red Sofa video, I asked you to ask me some questions, and I'm going to answer them today. And stay tuned to the end because I have some questions for you. Tonya L. Smith asks, have you cruised with Carnival? If so, what are your thoughts? I have not cruised with Carnival yet, and people ask me that a lot. And originally I thought I probably would never cruise with Carnival just because a lot of people that I know who had cruised with Carnival were unhappy with their experience compared to like Royal Caribbean or Norwegian, two lines that I really enjoy and really recommend. However, the more people that ask me and the more people I talk to that have cruised with Carnival, the more I think it would be a really good idea and I should do it soon. Another cruise question, why don't you go on Celebrity or Princess cruises? They have great itineraries. Yeah, they don't have water slides. That's one silly reason, but also actually a serious reason. And I don't know, I think I would cruise probably on Celebrity before I would cruise on Princess. My cat is going crazy over there. She gets mad when I pay too much attention to you guys and not enough attention to her. Cat lovers will understand. I don't know. I don't know why I haven't cruised on Celebrity or Princess yet. I think it's because I feel like I would miss a lot of the fun activities that you get on the other ships that I've cruised on. Barbara F. asks, or says, I really enjoy your videos. Thanks for all your tips and interesting stories. I'm going on my first cruise this Friday with Oceania from Rome to Barcelona. That's gonna be nice. Have you ever cruised with them? Thanks, Barbara. No, I haven't cruised with Oceania yet either. I've cruised with MSC, AIDA, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian. I always forget. I think that's it. Right? I feel like I'm missing one in there. I can't come up with it right now. Maybe it'll come to me. Jake Birchfield asks, the foot laceration aside, what is the worst cruise mishap you have had? If you don't know what Jake is asking about, 2 cruises ago on the Harmony of the Seas, I cut my foot open on a rock at a beach and it ruined my entire day and put a damper on my cruise because I had to get stitches in my foot and it cost me around $300. But other than that, I wouldn't say that I really had a big mishap. I've had a couple days that have been ruined because I just had a really bad hangover. I've talked about that in a video as well, in my seasickness video. But other than that, I can't say I've had a really bad mishap or anything like that. So, knock on wood. It's not wood, but it's a symbol. Can you hear the church bells ringing? I live really close to a church. Wayne Harris asks, do you wear a Speedo? Good question, Wayne. I think you're asking it to be funny, but I'm going to answer it anyways. I never wore a Speedo in the past, and then I moved here to Germany, Europe in general, and a lot of people my age, or a lot of men my age, do wear those tighter kinds of swimsuits. Not necessarily the kind that's shaped, you know, like a pair of you know, like briefs, but the kind that are, you know, more like boxers but sit tight. And they're made by Speedo, and they're made by Adidas, and they're made by Nike, and they're made by Kimsey, and there's a lot of companies that make these kind of bathing suits. And I thought I'd try it just because there were a lot of other people my age wearing them, and I have to tell you something. They're really comfortable. If you can get over the body image thing that, you know, it's like wearing underwear out in public, I can really only recommend it. It's really comfortable, and if you like to swim laps, it's so much better for that because there's less resistance, and when you get out of the water, it's dry like really quickly. So it's not like you're walking around with this, you know, wet, damp, chafing suit. It's all good. So I do wear Speedos where I think it's, let's say, culturally appropriate, and I can only recommend them. Carissa Stout asks, I discovered your videos a few weeks ago, or a few weeks before I took my first cruise. I was on the Norwegian Dawn from Boston to Bermuda and back. It was awesome. I can't wait to go on another one. What is your favorite cruise you've been on? Well, Carissa, I'm really bad at picking favorites. I said that in the video last week as well, so I can't tell you. I've had favorite moments about every cruise I've been on. I'm sorry. Kaimi or Kimi Mami asks, how did you and Marcus meet? Well, that's not really a travel-related question, but because Marcus is in a lot of my videos and you all know about Marcus, I'll tell you. We met at work. He was fixing a computer and I walked into the office where he's fixing it and we started talking, and that's how we met, and it's been over 10 years now, so I'm glad that we met like back then, before everybody just met on the internet. We met like in the old-fashioned way, with just running into each other and talking and saying, let's go out and get something to eat, and then it all progressed from there. And now it's been 10 years. Abby Walters asks, ever thought of doing a group cruise with followers or Patreons? And this is a question that I've been asked a lot as well. And I have to say, I have thought of it, and I think I will do it. I just need to work out the details and figure out the best way to do it, because when I go on a cruise, it's also my vacation, and I feel like some of the things I worry about is being responsible for a group of people and having them feel like, because I, book the cruise and I'm sort of like, like leading it, that I would be responsible for everybody to have fun the whole time. And I don't think that I would have fun doing that. I need to find a way to like go on a cruise, make it a group cruise, have time for myself and have time for the people who come with me, and find a way to make sure that everybody's happy. So when I figure that out, I'll do it. And if you guys have any ideas, let me know. Yulia Kuchia asks, I know it's a favorites question, but the favorite of the 4 parks at Disney World. Actually, this is a really easy question. My favorite of the 4 parks at Disney World is whatever park I'm in at the moment. There you go. Kaylee Rundle asks, hi Morgan, I would like to know what travel destinations are on your bucket list. Well, I definitely want to go and see all Disney parks. So I want to go back to Disneyland Paris, which might be coming up very soon actually. Marcus and I are kind of looking at dates, trying to figure it out, and definitely want to go to Shanghai to see Shanghai Disneyland. That looks amazing. I haven't been to Tokyo Disney and Tokyo Disney Sea for over 10 years, almost 15 years, so I really want to go back and see that. Those are some destinations, and of course, when I'm there, I want to see the culture as well, a little bit, but mostly I'm going there for the Disney parks. People ask me all the time if I want to go to Australia, and I have to say, I don't know why, for some reason, Australia doesn't really like pull me in. I know it's a beautiful country, I know there's amazing people living there, but it's just so far away, and I don't know, something about it doesn't really draw me. That doesn't mean I won't go there, or I wouldn't go there, or I don't recommend going there, but it's not at the top of my list. And as far as other bucket list things, I don't know. I just like to travel all together. So I think every place is on my bucket list. I would love to go everywhere. Can you relate to that? Griffin Powell asks, well, let me formulate the question into an entire sentence. Have you had any experiences on a transatlantic cruise, or any experience with a transatlantic cruise? And yes, we cruised transatlantic from Miami to Barcelona, stopping in Madeira on the Norwegian Epic. And I have a whole playlist about that, so if you look through my channel, you can click the playlist, and then you can click on Epic Journey, and then you watch all the videos from beginning to end, and you'll see what happened every day of the cruise. John Fiscus asks, do you and Marcus ever do the FOD gatherings on ships? If so, are they worth the time? Well, if they're worth the time, I think depends on who you are and what you're looking for, and the other people who go to the meetings. And but to answer the first part of the question, no, we don't. So I can't really tell you. Jessica Gomez asks, or says, I really enjoy watching your videos. You make us feel like we're traveling with you. Thank you. That's what I try to do most of the time. My question is, when you're looking for your next cruise, what do you prioritize, the destinations or the ship? The ship. Always the ship. I don't think I've ever started looking for a cruise because I thought I want to go there, so let's find a cruise that goes there. I look at the dates, I look at the ship and the price, and that's how I choose my ships, and then the destinations are for me really secondary. Although I have to say, after my cruise on the Harmony and the Freedom to St. Thomas and St. Martin, I think I want every cruise from now on to just go there, because I really have had a great time there, even after I busted open my foot. Robert Cunningham, do you still have plans to go on the Disney Fantasy? Yes. I mean, I really want to, but I don't have it planned at the moment. But I will be doing a Disney cruise sometime, and I will be doing a Carnival cruise sometime. Reese MW asks, is Wi-Fi on board worth paying for? I can say a couple things about this. The Wi-Fi I had on board the Harmony of the Seas was amazing. It was fast enough that I did a live stream. So, I mean, it was like as good as, if not maybe even better, faster than the internet I have here at home. And that's called Voom on Royal Caribbean. And the Freedom also offered Voom internet, but it was nowhere near as good as it was on the Harmony. So Voom internet differs, and it really differs from ship to ship. So I think it's nice to actually not have internet when you're on a cruise, because it makes you focus more on just being on the cruise. It makes you forget more about the real world, and it helps you relax. At least that's how it was for me. But now that the very unofficial travel guides has gotten so big, I want to keep you guys updated with what's going on, and so I always have internet and I'm always posting things, but I think it's a good payoff. Stephen Solar asks, do you ever collaborate with other cruise vloggers and go on cruises with them? Forgive me if you have already covered topics in the past, or this topic in the past. I have another favorite besides you, and I was hoping you might at least know them, the Sea Cruisers. Thanks. Well, Stephen, I do know the Sea Cruisers. We've chatted back and forth online. I also watch Tim Tracker, although he's not a cruise-related channel. He's more of a theme park-related channel. I like to watch Justin Scard. There's a lot of YouTubers I watch, but people who specifically do cruises, I think the only other YouTubers that I watch are the Sea Cruisers, and I would love to collaborate with all of them. And actually, I've written to Justin Scard, I've written to Tim Tracker. Justin Scard didn't answer. Tim Tracker wrote back because when we went to Orlando recently, I asked if he would be interested in getting together for some kind of collaboration, and he said he actually wrote back and said their schedule is too busy at the time I was there, so that's cool. And with the Sea Cruisers, we've written back and forth a couple times, and I'm pretty sure we will do some kind of collaboration soon. I mean, I would love to, but it's just about figuring out the details. And I'm pretty sure they would love to too, but I don't know, one of us just has to sit down and say, all right, this is the idea and this is what I need from you, and then we'll make the video. Collaborating, it seems like it would be so easy, but especially if you're not in the same place at the same time, it involves a lot of coordination and scheduling and ideas and things like that, and it's harder than you think, especially when you're working a full-time job and doing YouTube. But if you really want to see me collab with the Sea Cruisers or Tim Tracker or Justin Scard, I think probably the best thing you can do is go to their videos and write to them that that's what you want to see, and then maybe that will motivate all of us to get together and do it. Siberia 4A asks, I'm going to skip through a lot of it, but the main question is, when you come home from a cruise or do a travel-related Sunday story time, are you sitting on a red sofa from IKEA? This? And I'm pretty sure it is from IKEA, but this is Marcus's sofa, so I don't know. And he's busy now, so I'm not going to ask him, but I'm assuming that it's from IKEA. Andrew Hunter asks, what is the best way to book a cruise on Harmony of the Seas? Well, look at the Royal Caribbean website or go to a cruise travel agent or a travel agent specializing in cruises, like I said before, Josh at cruisesbyjosh.com, and tell him I sent you. Ooh, Michaela has a bunch of questions here. What are the top 3 places to visit on a cruise ship? That depends on what you like and what you're interested in. If you like nature and cold, then go to the fjords or go to Alaska. If you like islands and beaches, then go to someplace in the Bahamas or the Caribbean. If you like culture and nice weather and great food, then go to the Mediterranean. That's really a matter of personal taste. What was the biggest storm that you've witnessed during a cruise? That was on our cruise on the Navigator or the Mariner. one of those cruises in the Mediterranean on our last sea night. We had horrible storm where like the ship was literally rocking so much that I kept feeling like I was going to fall out of bed. It was miserable, it was scary, it was not fun at all. How high is the possibility to get new friends on a cruise? I think if you're a very outgoing, friendly person, I think the possibility is extremely high. Would you recommend young teen friends to go on a cruise for a holiday? Well, yes, but you're going to need to go with adults because young teens can't go on a cruise alone. And if you're a teen and you're going to be cruising with somebody other than your parents, make really sure that you get all the paperwork set up in advance because it's tricky to go on a cruise with somebody other than your parents, okay? What is more fun on a cruise, the ship itself or the destinations? That's another question that depends on you. It depends on what you're looking for, and I can't really answer that. Sorry. Jado Renikolex asks, what's your favorite cruise you've already been on? I think you know the answer by now. And what's your dream cruise? I think you know that by now. I don't know. Mother T wants to know if I haven't taken a Disney cruise, will I? Yes, I will. Answer that. And by the way, if you've asked a question and I'm not answering it, it's because I don't know, because I missed it. I'm trying to answer all the questions that seem relevant to me. Do you recommend doing excursions through the... Oh, this is a good question from Robert Clarquist. Do you recommend doing excursions through the cruise line or do you prefer to make your own arrangements? And I've done both, and I guess I recommend both. I would say look at what it is you want to do while you're there, and first of all see if there's a good way to do it without booking it as an excursion, and if there really isn't, then book it as an excursion. And you can book through the cruise line, and that's probably one of the least complicated ways to do it because then you know everything is set up. The cruise line will tell you exactly where to go. You can just turn off, follow the group, get on the bus. When the bus gets to wherever you're going, follow the group, and they'll make sure that everything goes well and that you'll get back to the ship on time. But you can do it a little bit less expensive if you book from somebody locally, but then you kind of have to worry about, you know, if you're going to get back to the ship on time and if you can trust the people. But look at the reviews at tripadvisor.com and that will help you find somebody you can trust. So do both. Tanya Funstone asks, I'm not sure if this is a personal or travel question. You seem to choose often Caribbean vacations over Mediterranean, Egypt, Japan, Australia. Have you ever considered more, I guess, exotic cruises? Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to that, but we also try to stay within a certain budget, and flights to Florida or Rome or Barcelona are much less expensive than flying to Tokyo or Hong Kong or Shanghai or Singapore, and I think that's probably one of the main reasons that we don't go to more exotic destinations more often. And, you know, we love Las Vegas and we love Orlando, and that's probably also a reason that we go there more often than other places. Don Kettle asks, you were touched on packing in this video. I think you mean I touched on packing in this video. But I'm wondering if you've seen any of the videos about packing for a 7-night cruise with only a carry-on, and have you ever done it or at least tried? That's a good idea. I have not done it, I have not tried it, but every time I go on a cruise, every time, I tell myself I wish I had taken less clothes with me. Especially, I mean, like, if you're on a transatlantic cruise, that's a good idea. For a transatlantic cruise, you really don't need to bring a lot of clothes with, especially if most of the days are going to be warm days. You're only on the ship, so all you need is like maybe 2 swimsuits, 2 pairs of shorts, t-shirts for every day, and then a couple nice things for the evening. That's a good idea. If we ever do a transatlantic cruise again, and I'm sure we will, I'm gonna try to just take a carry-on. All right, I'm skipping some of these questions, sorry people, but just because they're the same questions that other people have answered. Becky M asks, how much increase, if any, in prices since your first cruise, and any more or less that is included? Well, I feel like the prices, of course, you know, have gone up a little bit, but if you look around and if you use a travel agent, like I've said a couple times now, you really can still find fantastic deals. Cruising is not necessarily really expensive. And also, especially if you stick with like, if you want to cruise on a budget, then go with Carnival. Carnival offers some really inexpensive cruises. And is there any more or less that is included? Well, yeah, like if I, there goes the church bells again. What is going on? On Royal Caribbean, when I first started cruising, if you had room service delivered to your cabin, it was included in the price of your cruise, and now there's a little, like a service fee for every time it comes. I think it's $7.95. So that's one example of something that is no longer included. But other than that, I guess I haven't really noticed a big difference. I think there's a second part. She also asks, how has your cruising experience changed from the first cruise? Well, I feel like I'm a little bit more experienced now. I know more to expect. I know more how to get what it is I want on a ship. I understand now how the dining works. I understand the benefits and the disadvantages of getting the drink package, things like that. I think that's just typical things that happen to anybody when you've done or when you visited something or someplace more often. You just sort of learn the tricks of the trade. Russell White asks, Morgan, as an artist, I would like to know if there are cruises that have art classes, seminars, or workshops. I'm not interested in a kids-geared offering, more for adults. Also, not an auction, a hands-on experience. Thanks, and I enjoy your videos. Well, thank you, Russell. I enjoy making them for you. And yes, there are definitely art courses on ships. Also, Alison Mullis wrote a reply to you. She said that she knows celebrity ships have an art studio with art classes for many different medias. That's also a recommendation I can make. And I'm pretty sure that I read that they also have art classes on Cunard ships, like the Queen Mary and the Queen Elizabeth. So look into that, and that's another thing that you could get in touch with a cruise travel agent to help you figure it out, and I'm sure that there are plenty of options. I am Ran P128 asked, someone tell me if he's gay or not. Well, I've had girlfriends that I've really been in love with, and I've had boyfriends that I've really been in love with, and now I'm together with Marcus, and we've been together for over 10 years, so I'm whatever that is. Nordic Transportation asks, what do you think of the new MSC ships, Seaside and Meraviglia? I think they look really cool. I don't have any plans to cruise with MSC. As you know, I had a pretty bad experience on MSC. Well, not a bad experience, but just like not a good experience on MSC, and that's why they're not really interesting to me anymore. However, my friends Mike and Rochelle, who, if any of you came to the meetup in Orlando, you know them from the meetup, and they're also patrons of mine on patreon.com/veryunofficial. They are on an MSC ship right now, and they've sent me pictures yesterday of the food, and it looks amazing, and it looks so much different than the food that we got when we were on our MSC ship, so now I'm starting to sort of think about it again. But I think I would probably do Carnival before I would go on another MSC ship. Did I answer the question? Yes, I think I did. Melissa Indalekadi asks, I love your vlogs and I love the trackers. Me too. Write to them and tell them we should do something together. When you went to Megan's Bay, are there areas in the shade? We are bringing my elderly mother, and a shaded place would be good for her if she gets hot. Yes, they are shaded places. I replied to her comment on YouTube, but I'll do it here as well. There are trees, there are shady places, and worst case scenario, you can always just park her at the bar because that has a roof over it, and then pick her up a couple hours later. Jennifer McDougall asks, I've heard a few complaints on transfers from airports. I've never used them, but was thinking about using Norwegians this December. Have you used transfers since your bad experience? I think she's talking about my first cruise experience where, for whatever reason, Royal Caribbean didn't get our booking and we almost got left behind. But since then, everything has worked well, and I think booking through the cruise line is also a very safe way to do it, because you know that they'll, if you do it that way, they know if you're there or not, and I just feel like it's a little bit more, you have a little bit more security. And I think that's it. I think I've gone through all the questions now. at least all the questions that I wanted to answer or that weren't doubles. So thank you guys. And these bells, I hope you can hear those bells. You know, I'm sure they go off like this every Sunday, but I've just never noticed it. I guess because now I'm trying to do a video and it makes me realize it. It's one of those things that you just sort of tune out because I live here and I hear it all the time, I guess. All right, my question for you, or one of the questions I had, I'll try to remember all of them, I can only think of one right now, is do you guys think I should get a P.O. box? I know I was talking about the Sea Cruisers and talking about Tim Tracker and a lot of other YouTubers as well. They have P.O. boxes so people can send them stuff. And I was wondering, do you think I should do that? I don't know. I feel like, to me it seems kind of weird to like say, so you guys send me things. But it seems to be a thing that happens a lot. So I just thought I'd mention it. And I could think of a few things that I would love it if people sent to me. For instance, one of them is I need a new visor. I just went and grabbed it. If you've watched my videos, you've seen this visor in so many of them. I've had it for a long time, and I really love it, but it's getting old now, and it's kind of, I don't know, it's kind of just used up. And I've looked for other visors, even most recently in Miami, and the problem is, most visors for adult males, this part of it is like that much bigger. And it looks silly on my head. You know, like I put it on and it like sticks up to like here. And I don't know if this is a woman's visor or if it's a kid's or something, but this part is just so much smaller and I feel like it just looks better on my head. And I don't like to wear, especially if I'm gonna be in the sun, like a really hot sun, I prefer this because then it's less hot. And if I wear like a real hat, and I have some hats that I really like, but then my head gets so sweaty under there. So that would be one thing. Like if any of you works in a sporting goods store or something and could help me find another visor just like this, that would make me really happy. But anyways, that was just one question I wanted to ask you guys, if you think I should get a P.O. box because people want to send me stuff. Another question, and I know I've asked this before, but if you have some really concrete suggestions on how I could set up a group cruise, then please send them to me. For instance, how could I pick the ship? What time of the year should I do it to make sure that the most people could come? How much time in advance should I plan it? Like, should it be in 6 months? Should it be like in a year? How could I go about setting up the itinerary so I had time for myself and also time for the people who came with, and make sure that everybody had a good time without like being 100% responsible for everybody who came with? Those are the things that I think about a lot. And I guess that's all the questions that I have for now. I want to get out there and enjoy the sun today, so I hope you're having a great weekend as well. As always, please hit the like button down there. If you haven't done it yet, subscribe to my channel here. Click the bell next to the subscription button because that will help my videos show up in the mails that you get from YouTube so you know when I post a new one. But usually I post one now during the week and then on Sundays. Follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, and if you want to get access to other videos that I don't post anyplace else except on Patreon, then go over to patreon.com/veryunofficial and see how that all works there. Thanks to all these VIPs over here, as always, and I look forward to seeing you guys soon. And very soon, the Freedom of the Seas videos are going to be finished, and I'm going to start posting videos and vlogs from our most recent Disney trip, and I'm really looking forward to going through them all again because we had a really great time and I want to share it with you guys too. So, see you soon!